this is a very harsh part of the story, you see, and this is the sort of thing that modern people find upsetting and perhaps presume shouldn't be shared with children. But the vicious turn this story takes now is an indication of just how absolutely devouring and pathological this evil queen jealousy in relationship to younger women truly is. So this is what the mother of Snow White does to pursue her envy and pride, her usurping capability. Her jealousy kept upsetting her, and so she summoned her huntsman and said, "Take this child out into the forest," so out into the dark unknown, "to a spot far from her. Then stab her to death." That's bad enough, I would say already. The mother who's going to kill her own child, have her henchman kill her own child. But that's not as bad as it gets. And it's not sufficiently symbolically terrible, because it's like a vampire. A vampire is a force of death that feeds on life to keep itself going when really it's already dead. The mother, the queen in this story, doesn't only kill her daughter, she devours her. She attempts to incorporate her own vitality into herself. She's truly the devouring mother, and that's a symbolic representation of maternality gone most pathologically wrong in the opposite direction. I mean, women, mothers, literally nourish their children with their own bodies. Breastfeeding mothers their bodies can detect if their children lack calcium, if their infants lack calcium when they're breastfeeding, through receptors in the nipple. And if the child is lacking calcium, the mother will decalcify her own bones, take calcium out of her own bones to increase the proportion of calcium in the milk to feed to her child. And so the proper maternal orientation towards infants in particular, but also children, is voluntary self-sacrifice, right? The mother gives herself up, gives herself over to the child. This is a complete inversion of that, where the mother becomes the devouring agent and the child is nourishment for the pathologies of the mother. You know, one of the tropes in teenage movies is the mom who tries too hard to be cool, let's say, to pretend that she's still young, even to partake in the social hierarchy structuring of her teenage daughters, let's say, instead of stepping back and letting the young women have their moment, just as she had the opportunity, just as the mother had the opportunity to have her moment. That's part of the sacrificial nature of motherhood when it's undertaken appropriately, right? Because the child becomes the star of the show, let's say, rather than the mother. And the mother isn't trying to become the star through the child either. So no matter how brutal this story becomes, and that's what happens next, it pales in comparison to the truth of the pathology of the devouring mother. Take the child out into the forest to a spot far from here, then stab her to death, and bring me back her lungs and liver as proof of your deed. Lungs, that's inspiration, that's respiration, that's the resting place of the spirit. Liver, well, think of the word live. The liver is the part of the body, the vital organ that can regenerate itself and is regarded symbolically as the seat of vitality. So it's spirit and vitality that the evil queen devours in consequence of her jealousy, her inappropriate jealousy of the benefits of Snow White's youth. After that, I'll cook them with salt and eat them. Now, you think, do you tell your children that story? And that's a hard question, because one thing you want to do if you have children is protect them from the evil queen. You see plenty of that, by the way, in the modern world with mothers, for example, who utilize their demented identity politics with regards to their children. My boy is really a girl. My girl is really a boy. There's some fertility suppression. And use the notoriety generated by that pathologization of the child to elevate their social status among their idiot friends at the cost of the child's happiness, physiology, and future reproductive success. Right? What did Nietzsche say? We're best punished for our virtues. If you really want to hurt your child, then you find out what's good about them that's embarrassing you by contrast, and then you hurt them for the existence of that good. That'll make you an evil queen.